Welcome to some Dice Throne action, specifically Marvel Dice Throne. Yes, we're hoping to get more tabletop content out there. There's just a lot of things that we want to do, right? So one of the things is figuring out camera angles. It looks like we might need multiple cameras, unless there's a camera out there that can really, display the board well. So we're playing Vegas, baby. It is roll a die, divide the number that you get by half, round it up, and that's how much CP you would receive. So where am I at? So yeah, we are trying to figure out camera angles. We're trying to figure out setups, even editing. We're trying to figure things out to make sure the content is just reasonable and adequate enough for y'all entertainment. So this is just us starting out, I would say. We're gonna get better. We just gotta dive in head first. Do we get an attack or we whiff? We might have whiffed. So just in case, if you are just watching out of curiosity, Dice Throne is a unique tabletop game where you get your character board and you roll dice to try to match the symbols to do attacks. And there is a deck for the characters that you would play with, abilities that are going to cater. Now they have staples in the decks, right? So Vegas Baby is one of them. Every deck is going to have like a copy of that card, while there's also character specific cards that unique to the characters you play. Right now we are watching a Doctor Strange versus Scarlet Witch. Figure this is fun. It seems like the two of them would go at each other, especially after the movie, right? I have no idea if they're like friends in the comic book, if they're acquaintances. To my knowledge, Doctor Strange doesn't respect chaos magic, but that's the most I know. What do we got here? Do we get a move? Doctor Strange is a strong character in my opinion for Marvel Dice Throne. I don't know the tier list, to be honest. Back when me and my friends was playing this heavy, we did look up tier list, and one of my friends was looking up strategies on how to play every character. By the way, I have, I guess, every Dice Throne except for the Christmas ones. I didn't want the Christmas ones, to be honest. That's why I didn't go for it. And I ordered the X-Men. Dice Throne. So gonna be a lot more Dice Throne content coming out there for y'all. Oh wait, we got an ability going. So we went for Astral Incursion. And we are setting up some spells. So that's also a gimmick of Doctor Strange. You get your spell cards, you play them on your board, so you just have access to these abilities that you can use later on or in conjunction to your turn. Oh, it looks like Scarlet Witch forgot to take some damage. Yeah, so you keep track of damage with your damage dials, just in case because our channel does show other games, so just in case you're new to Dice Throne, yes, you have the dials to keep track of health. They do have like a free for all, and I think they do a team. They got rules for teams and free for alls. So the point is though, you get different health depending on what rule set. So we are doing the 1v1, so you'll start out with 50. The leaflet that you see on the side there just kind of breaks down the tokens. So yeah, there's tokens in this game. Tokens, if you're like a card game player, I guess the best thing I can say, tokens are like speed 3 abilities, as long as you're allowed to use them depending on what their conditions are. Red cards, if you see a card that's like red, that's like the speed 3 in this game. If you see orange, that's like the speed 2. And if you see blue, that's like the speed 1. Just to kind of break it down. So it's all a timing thing. So tokens generally, as long as based on what their conditions are, you could just use them whenever. Same thing as a red card. Orange cards can be played during the roll phases. So the turns are also broken down into like phases, right? So your resource phase, your roll phase, and your main phase two. Yeah, so you got like two main phases. Um, so blue cards get played during the main phases, orange cards get played during the roll phases, and there's like, if you're into Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know if other card games get that in depth with their battle phase. But if you're into Yu-Gi-Oh, you know that the battle phase has like several different steps in it, like within the battle phase itself. And I feel like Dice Throne is kind of like that, because there is the offensive row, there is the defensive row, and then there's like calculating all the damage, like right before all the damage actually goes through. And maybe there's an end to it too. Maybe there's like, end phase, row phase. I don't know. I can't remember that much. I ain't gonna lie. But yes, there is cards to they got the index card that you can use to help keep track. So if you're new to the game, I always recommend that any index cards in any tabletop game, you just keep it next to you and you just track what you're supposed to do via those cards. All right, let's try to get some more commentary going on. What did we just hit? Green, white, red. Looks like we're going for another astral incursion. That's going to give Doctor Strange the lead, depending on what Wanda chooses to do. Because there are cards to help you protect your life, gain some defense. So we got to see how Wanda chooses to respond. I believe Wanda, their defensive board is primarily offensive, as funny as that sounds. Some characters out there, their defensive board either reduces damage or counterattacks for damage, like deals damage back. What's amazing when it comes to this game, they really work the numbers out very well. It's magical. I don't know how they did it, but the math is so on point. Because trust me, like counterattacking for 3 is solid. It's solid and it's going to keep you in the game. So don't ever feel some type of way if your character doesn't like reduce damage, because dealing damage back is just fine. It looks like we're at 33, so Wanda took a hit. Went from 42 to 33. Okay, cool. And it looks like they probably didn't do no damage back, which is kind of tough. I think in order to do damage back with Wanda, you need to roll some 6s, a set of 6. But Wanda has great burst damage. So that like white orangey looking token or crackles, they help you just add extra damage to your attacks. And when you have multiple crackles, man, oh man, can she hurt. But it looks like we use that red ribbon. So what that does, it's very tech in my opinion. So Doctor Strange, when he inflicts that token onto a player, that player cannot play any orange cards. So essentially, during the roll phase, they can't really manipulate their dice or anything like that. Dice rolling is like Yahtzee. That's the easiest way. If you know Yahtzee, you already know. But essentially, you get to roll up to 3 times. Any symbols that you want to keep, you can keep. Or any symbols you want to re-roll, you can re-roll, your choice. If you change your mind during your second or third roll, like if you keep a symbol and then say, you know what, I'm going to take a chance, you can do that too. So there's cards out in the game that can change those symbols to make it more consistent. Like there's a character whose strategy is to go for alt. It's kind of nuts. So you stack those cards just so you can try to like manipulate your dice to get you all 6 and then do alt. So Doctor Strange doing a ribbon to like a character with a strategy like that essentially says, hey, I'm making sure you can't manipulate your dice and you're just going to be stuck like this. So now it's all luck. It's all luck. So when you first playing, you might not think it's that strong, but it actually is. It's a very solid token effect. But actually, let me actually look up. So the blue token is on Wanda is manipulation token. It allows you to up or down by one value any even number. So if Wanda rolls an even number, she could spend one of those tokens to change the value by one, up or down. And Strange, what token did he keep playing? Premonition. Ooh, Premonition does a lot of things. Ugh. Well, Strange actually has like maxed out difficulty rating. No, not maxed out. He's a 5. So complexity 6 is the max, but he's a 5. So he's up there. And you got to have big brain, very combo heavy, setup heavy. Looks like we're spending some CP points, or we gain. Okay, no, we gain. And we're drawing. Oh, okay. I wasn't looking. I was trying to read the tokens. Forgive me, but but it looks like we just played the draw card. Well, what does this premonition token do? Draw 2 instead of 1. Draw 3 instead of 2. What? During the income phase. Wow. Premonition is nuts. Allows you to draw extra cards. That's nuts. Well, okay then. I should be paying more attention to how Doctor Strange works. I ain't gonna lie to you. When my friend plays Doctor Strange, we don't know anything. We just kind of going along with it, hoping he tells us what stuff does. Wow. Okay. I just learned something new. Well, the game is very close, 33 to 34. What did Strange just roll? What is he executing? We're going for binding. Oh, so we can inflict another Crimson Band and deal 9 damage. Wow, Strange got 7 CP points. That's nuts. Oh, looks like we're playing a card to change a die. So now he has to re-roll one of the dice, and he gets lucky. But I wonder if that would have been a judge ruling, since it crashed into the other dice. But it seems like we're gonna let it rock. Yeah, that's another thing. I was watching the Dice Throne tournament. I kind of like how they had the setup. They had a camera for the dice tower. They had a camera for the player boards. You know, but we don't got all those cameras. I ain't gonna lie to you. We would need a lot more cameras there. A nice recording setup. And then, you know, some editing. And I don't think it'll be difficult to edit that. You just constantly changing the camera angle based on the action. Oh, it looks like we're reading something. Trying to make sure we're properly following the rules. So we gain a crackle. That it could be tough defensively as Wanda. Goodness. But it's probably because of her burst damage is so high. When she gets to, her burst damage is real high. The crackles is what really can keep her in the game. The crackles could. So let me actually say what the crackles do. If a player concludes their offensive roll phase with an attack, they may spend this token. If spent, add 1 damage per positive or negative status effect on their hero board, up to a maximum of 3. Only 2 crackles may be spent per turn. It's an attack modifier. So essentially, before you add up the damage, before like the damage calculation resolves, you can just potentially add 6 damage. It all depends on how many tokens and stuff is on Wanda. But you can just potentially add 6 damage to an attack, which is insane because that's like an attack in itself. So that's why I'm assuming that's why Wanda's defensive rolls aren't that strong. Yeah, you want to use your manipulation tokens to help you be more consistent in whatever you're looking for. So it's a 10-point difference. Doctor Strange is winning. Seems like the Wanda rolls aren't too favorable. Oh, we got 3, 6. Are we going for alt or we're going for pure chaos? If anybody's out there, yeah, we should move our dice over more so they don't crash into each other when we're rolling. Yeah, I would, after you claim your dice, I'll just like move it down so you can just clear the space for your roll. See, for me, I like seeing the dice roll. They gotta roll. They can't like move once. No, gotta roll. That's how I feel. But our players are just fine. Hey, they are working with the space they got, but I would try to utilize the space more. Just move the dice over. If those are the numbers you're keeping, just move the dice over. Like you get it, right? No, is it me? I'll put it on the hero board. Like, hey, I'm keeping these, put them right here. Get more space. Roll. Because hitting a pure chaos would have been great. They would have gotten a reality warp and a conjure token while doing 6 undefendable damage. It's funny, if you're a Marvel Dice, I said Marvel Dice stuff. If you're we used our manipulation so we can get Mind Blast, it looks like. So if you are a Marvel Rivals, there you go. If you're a Marvel Rivals player, pure chaos sounds extremely familiar to y'all. Haunts your dreams. So Mind Blast, we're allowed to roll 1 die, and it just, either we're going to gain a probability. If it's even, gain a probability. No, I said probability. Oh yeah, probability manipulation. I was shorthanding it this whole time. Or if it's odd, do 8 damage instead of 5. Undefendable. Okay, so when a card is, when damage is undefendable, that just means you can't do a defensive roll. But you can play an effect, a card effect, or a token effect that can help mitigate the damage. So it looks like we're playing a card to help us with that damage. So we're at 34. What we taking? What we taking? $27. It's a tough match for Scarlet Witch, because normally there's a lot more tokens on her board. So our Scarlet Witch player isn't really getting the rolls that they're looking for. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange has already set up 3 cards and it's just drawing, gaining resources. Now, mind you, the benefit of drawing cards is you get to play cards that upgrade your board, right? So you see how there's the attacks that are on the board. You can play cards that allow you to get better versions of those attacks. So, and then there is also discarding a card to gain the CP, so you have more points so you can spend for cost on anything else. So yeah, things is looking great for Doctor Strange. Still relatively a close game. That's what I love about Dice Throne. It's very hard to just get like a landslide victory in this game. Very difficult. So I more power to the team that figured out those mathematics. It's like, how can we make sure there's no need for a mercy rule? Because you have to roll horrifically. Mind you, box 1, I like calling it box 1. It is on the upper left. that is the easiest set of attacks you can roll, most consistent. So no matter what, it's like up to you to choose to get no damage because you can always go for the first box. But I think Barbarian only heals, if I'm remembering correctly. But you know, that doesn't matter. We're playing Marvel Dice Stone. It looks like we're casting one of our spells here. And we're playing a card. Doctor Strange with their combos. So it looks like we're essentially playing an attack modifier. That's what it's looking like. We're about to do some extra shenanigans. Can I find that card? Out of curiosity, and then I could tell everybody. Those we at 24. Now we're going to what? Ooh, we went to 8? Did I see that right? That sounds nuts. I might have to rewind it after this. I don't like stopping my commentary, to be honest, so I'm not that curious to see what happened. Oh, okay, the card, if I've got the right card, that is. Roll 2 dice, depending on the symbol, you can cast a spell, gain 1 extra damage, gain 2 extra damage. So in theory, you could get the 3 damage. And we cast a spell. Not too sure what spell we had cast, but it looks like it probably helped us get more damage. So Wanda is looking like the game might be over. We hit Wanda really hard there. Now, can Wanda do anything? Luck, and it depends on the cards in Wanda's hands. So we have 5 tokens on the board. We're leveling up one of our moves. And if we was to roll, if you roll ult, Wanda's ult does 12 damage. Ults are undefendable. The only thing you can do for the most part is play cards to help reduce damage, but they can't be stopped. There's no... or maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe you just have to eat the whole thing no matter what. I have to look into that. I'm just going off the top of my memory banks. Haven't played this game in a while. Forgive me, everybody. But expect more Dice Throne content. There's gonna be a thing. This villainous, yada yada. Yep. We're gonna be like a channel. Have time slots and a bunch of different shows. But nah, Wanda's ult is nuts. Now that I'm reading it. Get 3 different tokens and 12 damage. And then if you're using crackles, oh my god. That would really put Wanda in the game. So, okay, let me get focused again. So essentially, if Wanda can do extreme burst damage this turn, and if Doctor Strange can't close it out next turn, then this is actually winnable for Wanda. But it's the luck of the dice. You gotta go dice roll. Yugi Moto this. He's a cheater, by the way. Yami is a cheater. There's nothing else to it. His power is cheating. Yup. He can never stay faithful to his wife. He cheats so much. Okay, we're using a manipulation to change one of the dice rolls. And we're using the crackle to get some extra damage out there. We're using 2 crackles. So it looks like we just pumped for 5. Doctor Strange. That card, I just off the top of my head, reduces damage by 6. So yeah, that card is a real strong defensive card. Didn't even crack the 20. Dag, look at Doctor Strange. 6 CP, 21 health to Wanda's 8. 2 spells on board. We spent the CP, drew 2 cards. Okay, so it looks like there's a draw 3 card. There's a draw 3 in this game, and there's a draw 2 in this game. So I'm guessing we just played the draw 2. Wow. Everybody, rule of thumb, always be very mindful of what your opponent's doing. I don't know if that would have changed the tides of battle, but I didn't know Doctor Strange could do all this stuff. Like, I was just reading the tokens now. And so getting those extra draws is allowing him to dig into his deck, find other cards, and also discard cards to gain more CP points so they can play other cards. And this is just some surface level stuff, right? Because I'm not even reading the spells that he has that he can cast. Because clearly one of them helped him do some crazy damage. Well, looks like we're going for an astral incursion. Seems like Wanda doesn't have anything to deal with it. There goes the 2. So 6 base damage. Looks like we got 2 red symbols. So the most we can do is inflict 1 crimson band. Wanda could defensive roll. But I don't know what Wanda can get defensively to help them out. And then not even be able to play any orange cards on their turn is nuts. Okay, looks like they got a crackle. It's crazy how different this game could have been if Wanda saw a few different. I don't think they got a conjure token this whole time, unless I missed it. Once per turn, a player with this token may spend it during their main phase to either gain a positive status effect from a chosen player's leaflet. An opponent may prevent this by discarding a card of their choice, or inflict reality warp on a chosen opponent. Reality warp: if a player is inflicted with this token when they begin their offensive roll phase, they must remove it and use one of Scarlet's dice in place of one of their own until the end of the offensive roll phase. So essentially what that means is they can never get ult. So if you used to do that, they can never get ult. Or if Scarlet Witch chooses to copy one of your positive status effects, if you got a real good one, then yeah, they can really take advantage. Doctor Strange had deja vu. Instead of activating an ability, a player with this token may spend it to conclude their current roll phase and then start a new roll phase. Wow, that's wild. Basically, if you whiff, you can just do that. And oh man, that sounds nuts. Yes, you win some, you lose some. This is it's what are you gonna do? It's the dice. It's the dice, right? You could blame them if you want. I mean, listen, by the way, like the Strange player is playing well, right? Let's not take anything away from him. But yeah, you about to lose by 20. You got to get some damage out there. You about to lose by 20. What are we getting? 2 pinks, red, and a yellow. Oh, we're playing cards. Oh, we just changed one of the dice rolls. You know what I like to do? So when I play, there's certain moves that I consider setup moves, and I like spending the first set of my rolls in. Okay, Dad, we had 2 life. I like spending the first set of my rolls trying to farm the setup move, right? In the begin, we're talking beginning of the game. So I think Dark Hold is the move that Wanda is looking for. It allows them to draw a card, gain a CP, gain a crackle, and gain probability manipulation. So that can really help Wanda out. But there's only one number with that symbol, so the odds of rolling that is what makes it tough. So you got to roll 2 5s. Literally, just the 5. The 5 number is the only one with that symbol, so you have to roll 2 5s. See, the pink symbol is 1, 2, and 3. So it's easy to get pinks. But that's probably what Wanda was hoping for, was to get some Dark Hold moves. Like probably get it about 2 times, and they could have really turned up during this game. Yeah. Strange was just cooking with some seasoning. It is what it is. Yeah, just put them out their misery. Come on now. We're only looking at 2. 2 HP. You could have just rolled for anything at this point. Funny thing is, Strange doesn't really have a easy roll. Like, the 1s or the 2 symbols. But hey, that's fine. He's a solid character. He's a solid character nonetheless. G. Thanks for watching. And please sub.